สนับสนุนโดย Benefit โปรตีนดีๆจากพืชอธิบดีกรมสารนิเทศและโฆษกกระทรวงการต่างประเทศนางกาญจนาภัทรโชคเปิดเผยว่านายณัฐภานุ นพคุณรองอธิบดีกรมสารนิเทศและรองโฆษกกระทรวงการต่างประเทศได้จากไปอย่างกระทันหันเมื่อวันที่ 4 ธันวาคมหลังจากเข้ารับการรักษาตัวจากปัญหาด้านสุขภาพมาระยะหนึ่งส่วนสาเหตุการเสียชีวิตต้องรอรายละเอียดเพิ่มเติมจากกระทรวงการต่างประเทศต่อไปนายณัฐภานุเป็นนักการทูตอาวุโสของไทยมีประสบการณ์การทำงานด้านการทูตทวิภาคีการทูตพหุภาคีและในมิติด้านบริหารจัดการมานานเกือบ30 ปีโดยเขาได้ทำงานในประเด็นที่เกี่ยวข้องกับสิทธิมนุษยชนผู้ลี้ภัยการย้ายถิ่นการทุจริตคอร์รัปชันสถานการณ์การระบาดของโควิด -19 รวมถึงประเด็นความมั่นคงในภูมิภาคและอื่นๆอีกมากมายนายณัฐภานุเคยดำรงตำแหน่งอัครราชทูตที่ปรึกษาคณะผู้แทนถาวรไทยประจำสหประชาชาติณนครเจนีวาสวิตเซอร์แลนด์ตั้งแต่ปี 2012 ถึง 2016 และเคยดำรงตำแหน่งทางการทูตในกรุงวอชิงตันดีซีสหรัฐอเมริกาและพนมเปญกัมพูชานายณัฐภานุยังเคยทำหน้าที่เป็นล่ามและผู้ร่างคำกล่าวสุนทรพจน์อย่างเป็นทางการให้กับนายกรัฐมนตรีของไทยมาแล้วถึง3 คนและยังเคยดำรงตำแหน่งผู้ประสานงานกระทรวงการต่างประเทศที่ทำเนียบรัฐบาลตั้งแต่ปี 2008 ถึง 2011 ด้วยด้านอธิบดีกรมการแพทย์แผนไทยและแพทย์ทางเลือกและอดีตโฆษกศูนย์บริหารสถานการณ์การแพร่ระบาดของโรคติดเชื้อไวรัสโควิด -19 หรือสบคนายแพทย์ทวีสินวิษณุโยธินเปิดเผยผ่านเฟซบุ๊กส่วนตัวระบุว่านายณัฐภานุ นพคุณรองอธิบดีกรมสารนิเทศและรองโฆษกกระทรวงการต่างประเทศและอดีตโฆษกสบคภาคภาษาอังกฤษเสียชีวิตแล้วโดยระบุว่าตกใจและใจหายมากๆที่รองนิ้งณัฐภานุ นพคุณโฆษกสบคภาคภาษาอังกฤษที่ร่วมทุกข์ร่วมสุขเผชิญหน้ากับสถานการณ์โควิด -19 มาด้วยกันได้จากไปแล้วรองนิ้งเป็นน้องที่น่ารักสุขุมพูดน้อยแต่ชัดเจนทั้งภาษาไทยยิ่งภาษาอังกฤษสุดยอดทำให้การสื่อสารของสบคที่ผมต้องรับผิดชอบในภาพรวมแทบไม่ต้องช่วยอะไรรองนิ้งเลยมีแต่นิ้งที่มาช่วยพวกเราในทุกด้านที่พี่ร้องขอนิ้งจะมาประชุมกับเราให้ความเห็นมีความคิดรวบยอดที่ถูกกลั่นกรองมาอย่างดีแม้งานยุ่งขนาดไหนจะเห็นนิ้งห่วงงานมากกว่าตัวเองเห็นได้จากเราเรียกมากินข้าวที่เรามีกินกันเขาก็จะบอกว่าจะขอกลับไปทำงานก่อนทุกทีทั้งที่เลยเที่ยงเลยบ่ายเลยเวลาอาหารมามากเรียกเท่าไหร่ไม่เคยได้กินข้าวกับน้องชายคนนี้ยังคิดว่าโชคดีที่กระทรวงการต่างประเทศมีคนคุณภาพคนนี้และมารับผิดชอบงานใหญ่ระดับประเทศเพื่อสื่อสารกับคนต่างประเทศในไทยและทั่วโลกได้เป็นอย่างดีเป็นโชคดีของประเทศไทยที่มีคนคนนี้ยามวิกฤตและช่วยประเทศเราตลอดสถานการณ์จนผ่านพ้นมาด้วยดีขอนิ้งหลับให้สบายจิตที่สูงส่งของนิ้งขอจงส่งให้นิ้งสู่สัมปรายภพภูมิที่ดีความดีของนิ้งจะอยู่ในความทรงจำของพวกเราและเป็นประวัติศาสตร์ตลอดไป
Sawadee Krap and good afternoon once again. It's great to be back. Of course, right now during this period, we have these briefings around twice a month, every other week. And of course, today is the English language summary of the briefing here at the Center for COVID Situation Administration for Thursday, the 30th of June 2022, the last day of June.And actually today marks a watershed moment in Thailand as we are transitioning towards a new phase of our management of COVID-19 starting from tomorrow, the 1st of July 2022. We will of course go through the important adjustment of the measures in today's briefing for you. So I'll turn our attention now first to the general situation. For new confirmed case, we have standing at 2,695. You would have noticed that we're on a very good trend. The past weeks and months have seen in the 1 to 2,000 new confirmed case per day, which is very much lower than the previous months. The active cases that we have currently is 23,931, as you would see on the screen, of which 684 are considered to be in critical condition.And 292 are those on ventilators. We have new recoveries standing at 1,779. And fatalities, unfortunately, we have 14 fatalities recorded for today. Actually, the number of fatalities have been on a downward trend since last month, as you know. In terms of the vaccination progress, we have been continuing the administration of vaccination across the country according to our plan since February 2021, since the start of our drive. And as of yesterday, the 29th of June, we administered 69,913 doses of vaccine, increasing the accumulated number of vaccines totally in Thailand to over 139 million doses. 139 million doses. And you see the details on screen there. The total number of people who have received their first dose now stands at over 56 million, which is over 81.9% of the total population. And second dose, that stands at 76.4%, and booster doses at 42.6%. So in this regard, up until today, we continue to urge the general public who are eligible to receive the booster dose so as to, at the earliest opportunity, as of course the national target for booster dose is at 60%, and we're now at 42% of the total population. Now, very important, as many would know already by now, the entry measures, relaxed, adjusted entry measures for Thai and foreign nationals. There has been progress on this in the weeks past, and a benchmark would be the 1st of July, tomorrow, 1st of July 2022. So at the previous CCSA general meetings, a number of measures, including the adjustment of entry requirements for travelers, has been decided upon. This will all begin to take effect as of tomorrow, the 1st of July 2022. And we'll recap that for you here. So starting from tomorrow, the Thailand Pass will no longer be a requirement for anybody to enter Thailand for all travelers. And in effect, this means that all travelers, I repeat, all travelers, both Thai and non-Thai travelers, will no longer need to fill in the form and obtain the QR code from the Thailand Pass system anymore. Another entry requirement that will be done away with starting from tomorrow is the proof of insurance covering medical expenses in Thailand. What you do need is proof of the COVID-19 vaccination, not the insurance, but the vaccination, excluding the booster shot. So proof of vaccination administered at least 14 days prior to date of travel. And if you're not fully vaccinated, a negative RT-PCR test result or a professionally administered negative ATK result taken within 72 hours prior to departure is required. So if you're not vaccinated, these tests are required. The entry requirement for minors is as follows. Those under the age of 18 who are fully vaccinated are subject to the same entry requirements as their parents. And those under 18 who are not fully vaccinated need to produce a negative RT-PCR test or a professionally administered negative ATK result within 72 hours prior to departure. And children under 6 are exempt from this ATK and RT-PCR test. Children between 5 and 17 must have received at least one dose of COVID-19 vaccine at least 14 days prior to departure, or must produce a negative RT-PCR test or professionally administered ATK test within 72 hours prior to departure. The verification of documents will be done before the issuing of the boarding pass at the point of origin. And of course, for these details that I mentioned, you can find that on our social media, including the QR code that you see on screen there, the infographic courtesy of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand. Now, on one important issue is on the easing of the mask wearing, this mandate. So as published in the Royal Gazette from the 23rd of June onwards, the wearing of masks in Thailand is voluntary. The wearing of masks in Thailand is voluntary. Members of the public are not required to wear masks in public places. So there is no more mask mandate in Thailand. And of course, this is in line with the measures of many other countries around the world during this period. However, the CCSA has announced recommendations in this regard. So firstly, our recommendation is that for the general public, if you're inside buildings, you should wear a mask unless you are by yourself or unless you're doing activities which a mask cannot be worn, like of course eating or exercising or receiving care and service. then you're recommended to proceed with care if you don't wear masks within buildings. And of course, when those activities are completed, you are required to put the mask on. Now, for outside buildings, wearing a mask when you are with others is also recommended still, and when you cannot observe social distancing in particular, or if the area is crowded or not ventilated, and of course, public transportation as well. So this is a very important recommendation and cooperation that we request, because although we have the Royal Gazette announcing that it is not a mandate, but of course the risk is still there, so we recommend people to take caution still. And of course, people in the main vulnerable group, over 60, and those with medical condition, strongly recommended to continue to wear masks when around others. And as for COVID-infected persons and other high-risk groups, strongly suggested that you wear masks when near others. Now, for vaccination centers, these information might be useful to English language audiences here. So the Bang Su Central Vaccination Center is open for walk-ins. Of course, you've heard the news about the new variants, BA.4 and BA.5, Omicron, subvariants, actually, not variants, subvariants in Thailand. So the Health Ministry, the Department of Medical Sciences, has been monitoring the development of these two strains since April. And it's urged that the general public get their booster shots, because these subvariants have been found better at escaping or avoiding immune responses. So that's very important. So continue to have your vaccination if you have not had your booster dose. And talking about that, of course, as I mentioned, Bang Su Grand Station is open every day for walk-in for any shot, any number shot, meaning your first or second or third or fourth or even fifth dose. And those who would like to get booster shots beyond the fourth dose can also consult their doctors about the duration of the inoculation, the types of vaccines and purposes of vaccination. People, of course, who are returning to travel abroad. I see a lot of friends and colleagues traveling abroad in the past few weeks. The immunity may be affected, of course, because of course you get exhausted and tired when you're traveling, and of course with all the risks in traveling. So it's also important to consult your doctor if you have an issue regarding your COVID-19 immunity, if your immunity is low, for example. Now, for RT-PCR testing services, the Department of Medical Sciences is providing RT-PCR testing services for the public, around 100 persons per day for all nationals, and there's a cost to that, 900 baht per person. Those who would like this test may walk in and register as per the infographic on screen, courtesy of the Public Relations Department. And as we have mentioned for some time, we in Thailand have been developing innovation in this regard, including nasal sprays to prevent COVID-19. And just some detailed update on that a team at Chulalongkorn University is developing 2 vaccines and a nasal spray in the fight against COVID-19. The first, the Chulakov-19, uses the same mRNA technology as the highly effective Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna vaccines. And it's currently going through the phase 3 clinical testing on volunteers, expected to be registered with the Thai Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, for use in emergencies by the end of this year. The second vaccine is called HXP-GPOV, HXP-GPO-VAC. This uses the same production method that is used for influenza vaccines, and is currently undergoing phase 2 clinical testing to find out whether it can protect against Omicron variant. And meanwhile, the nasal spray to protect against COVID-19 is being developed jointly under Chulalongkorn University, the Silapakon University, and the Health Systems Research Institute, or HSRI, as well as the Government Pharmaceutical Organization and the High Biosi Company. This is expected to be released in the third quarter of 2022. So when Thailand can produce and modify both types of vaccines and the nasal spray, we will be able to cope even better with the outbreak of COVID-19 and promote a stronger health system in the country in the future to look on the positive and bright side. So basically, that's all the updates I have for you today. Just a friendly reminder, please follow the universal protection guidelines. Continue to keep your vigilance. Although we have no more mandate to wear masks, it's still recommended, of course, in certain areas, congested areas, or those who may be at high risk. It's also a very good news that we have the relaxation of measures in terms of no more Thailand Pass. Of course, we are aware of the difficulty in many travelers in the past months and years that have had to gone through in coming to our country. But of course, this is being stringent for a cause, of course, to prevent the spread of COVID-19 further in a country that you all, I think many people around the world would like to return to visit. Of course, that country is Thailand. So please continue to follow the universal protection guidelines to keep you and your loved ones healthy. And please get vaccinated, as I mentioned time and time again, your booster dose as well, if you are in a position and condition to do so. So thank you very much. Please stay safe. Have a good week ahead, and we hope to see you again next time.
และว้าวใหม่ล่าสุดใครอยากส่งกำลังใจให้ทีมข่าว Bright TV ปุ่ม Super Thanks หรือปุ่มขอบคุณฟีเจอร์ใหม่ของทาง YouTube ได้ทางด้านล่างขวามือ Bright TV ขอบคุณค่ะ